Welcome to the circle. How far have you come? Do you need some company, a candle and a song? Are you feeling weary, tired of being strong? Welcome to the circle. It's a place where you belong. Ooh, do you have a burden that seems too much to bear? Do you have a bitterness you don't know how to share? Do you get too angry to breathe, to laugh or pray? Well, there's no one in this circle who has never felt that way. No one in this circle who has never felt that way. So welcome to the circle. Whatever brought you here, the valleys and the mountain tops, the muddy and the clear. Know your work is worthy, and know your heart is true, and know that all you give away will come circling back to you. You've got to know that all you give away will come circling back to you.
Shabbat Shalom and happy spring. For those of you who don't know her yet, this is Edith Cottrell, and she started playing with us every year right after Purim. And this, believe it or not, and for a number of strange scheduling reasons, is her last Friday night service in person before Passover. Okay. So here we are, deep breath, sunshine, and not really blossoming trees. But let me tell you that at the beginning of spring in Israel, these actually have religious significance. And with anything that has religious significance, they have a blessing just for them. It's a blessing for the first blossoming tree you see at the very beginning of the year. And I even went to Albertsons and I looked at all the bouquets and whatever not, and I didn't find a single blossoming branch. So I brought these, and they're not really the same thing, but I'm just begging you for some Montana flexibility that I have also learned in the last years. And the blessing is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Blessed are you, God, creator, ruler of the entire universe. Shelo chasar be'olamo klum, in whose world nothing is missing. Uvara bo briot tovot ve'ilanot tovim, and in this which world God created beautiful creatures and good trees, so that the person, the people, can enjoy them. Not bahem bnei Adam. isn't this an amazing exercise? This world in which so much exists also contains beautiful animals and beautiful trees, and they're just there so that we can enjoy and love them. To welcome her back, I would like to invite Edith to light the Shabbat candles with me.
Oh, okay.
And you're going to light the Shabbat candles, and I'm going to light all 7 candles here, so we're just going to take a moment of lighting. We are on page 120. 120, Dan. Do you want to come around? Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת. Amen. Welcome to Shabbat, everyone. Welcome Shabbat into our midst. We read together on page 126 a reading that begins with, I begin with prayer. 126. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, nor semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. And as I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Page 136, just dwell a little longer in that vision, a vision of perfection, of which we get a little taste on every 7th day. Avu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, Avu l'Adonai kavod va'oz l'einai, Avu l'Adonai kevod shemo ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh kol Adonai al hamayim kol Adonai ekavod Adonai al mayim rabim kol Adonai ba'koach yainai kol Adonai behadar kol Adonai shover harazim vayeshaber Adonai et hazeh halvano yakidem kemo egel levanon vesirimon kemo יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר הקודש, כל אדוני יכולי איילות, ויחשוף יערות, ובחלו כולו אומר כבוד כל אדוני למבול ישב וישב אדוני מלך לעולם אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום יין 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 And just remember the last time you took a walk or you went skiing, just for the pleasure of it, outside. Page 138. Lecha Dodi. Come with me, come bride, come in the sunset, come in the crisp evening air.
Lecha Dodi lekrat kala, leshavat lekabela, lecha Dodi lekrat kala, leshavat lekabela. Shamo וזכור בדיבור אחד, השקיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה, לך אדוני לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לקראת שבת לכוון אליך, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5. התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלי נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. אוי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Please be seated. 140, a psalm for Shabbat. טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר
45. Entrance to holiness are everywhere. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There's no place on earth without the presence. Please rise if you're able for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim el chai vekayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Every corner of this world is created by God. Every corner of this world is infused with an eternal love. 148, Ahava Rabba, an eternal love. Ahavat Olam. תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Just let this echo for a second. I am God who brought you out of Egypt. Page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. It's this time in our lives when very boring old prayers suddenly become new meaningful. 158.
Mi hamo chava
טוב, גאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. 162.
ושם
השמיים ואת הארץ.
ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם.
ביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. 163. We are a people. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happens once upon a time happens all the time. Page 164, please rise if you're able, the Amidah. Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Please continue on your own pace. Page 180.
עושה שלום במרה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמו amen.
Please be seated for a moment. This sermon has been long in the making. Probably, I think, for the last 4 months. And I was debating for a little whether it should wait until the week of Yom HaAtzmaut, which is the Israeli Independence Day. And I just decided that I'm going to give it now. And it's going to be published. So, for those of you who want to read it later on, you can. It's probably the most provocative thing I've ever said on this bema. So I want to invite you to all take a deep breath and let it happen. You haven't fired me since October. I trust you. And if you disagree, you're welcome. It's a sermon about the war. There were a couple of people who said, Rabbi, I always agree with you, but you have no idea what you're saying. I will tell you what I'm saying. It has been many years that I've been to Israel. Actually, the other day I was talking to an Israeli friend of mine on Zoom, and we were trying to remember. We think maybe it was 2015, and we vaguely know because I saw his son when he was 3 years old, and now he's 9. I didn't have any kids back then. And yet, throughout my 20s, I spent many, many years in my city. Years of visiting the old city. Years on bus number 18. Years on campus. Years at the conservative yeshiva. Some years working all over town. Are you okay, Lynn? Bus 18 is the line that blew up many times. It was my bus to work. Working all over town, living in a bunch of apartments and neighborhoods, having friends and colleagues to run into on the street. Enough time to get citizenship, enough time to adapt certain Israeli habits, and enough time to make lifelong friends. And then I moved from Berlin in Germany, where I had just finished my rabbinical studies and PhD work, to New York City. And ever since, I have worked really hard to become an American Jew, because I actually love American Judaism. I love the fact that it has been possible in this country for Jews to build normal lives, lived without fear, until in certain areas, only recently. I love the pride with which many American Jews conduct themselves, the unapologetic way in which Judaism takes up its place in public spaces, in school calendars, and university curriculums. Again, not everywhere, but in many places. I love the fact that Jewish values at times even make it into American politics, like the religious values of many other people. And I love that for many American Jews, their Judaism is not just an observance of holidays and rituals and something that they do with their bubba, but that it really impacts their lives in a much more holistic and deep way. I am grateful to be part of this community. I am grateful to be a Jew in America, and I hope one day, after another wave of paperwork, I'm actually going to become an American Jew. If I had to name one thing that makes being Jewish in America harder than it was being a Jew in Europe, it would have been the cost and the investment of time of traveling to Israel. Geography really matters. The increased geographical distance leads to an increased emotional distance. My Hebrew has suffered. My friendships have changed. At some points before October 7th, I have felt less connected to Israel than I have ever before during my entire adult life. And I'm here as a rabbi. But I have always felt that overall, this was a fair price to pay for freedom and comfort and a family I acquired after moving here. And I'm still feeling this way. But much else has changed for me since last October. I never had any issues giving up some European and Israeli habits. I never even had issues changing some parts of my Judaism for the sake of being a better American Jew. After all, I live here. I didn't come to change American Judaism. I came because I liked it the way it was. However, and right now, and over the course of the last 6 months, I have suddenly discovered that this love has limits. And the limits is that blue passport on my bookshelf. Within my rabbinic communities and among Jewish friends and in conversations, also with some of our congregants, I have been quite overwhelmed with an immediate sense of identification and ownership when it came to Israel and the war that it is fighting. I am shocked over what happened to us. I am ashamed of what we are doing. This government does not represent my values, not in my name. I've been listening a lot, I think like most people these days, to people expressing thoughts and feelings that were not my own. I also very deliberately sought out some very difficult conversations that took bravery and calm and care to handle. And yet I have found myself at a real point of alienation. The point of alienation is not the Israeli government, because most of my partners in conversation here are Ashkenazi Jews, and they have a very Western education, very much like my friends in Israel. So most of them always agree on 3 things. We need to turn down the Israeli government, we need to return the hostages, and we need Bibi to go. That's like the Holy Trinity for everyone I know. My point of alienation, however, lies in a core assumption that seems to be shared by most American Jews I'm talking to, that the Israeli government should speak in their name, that it should act according to the Jewish values as they are defined in American religious schools, that its action should not be in tension with what they were taught to believe in college, and that they expect the state of Israel to be a congruent part of their Jewish identities, that they want it to be more like themselves. And this makes me increasingly uncomfortable, because the truth is that most Jews in Israel are nothing like American Jews. Most Jews in Israel are not white. There are less Ashkenazi Jews in Israel today than there are Sephardi, Ethiopian, and Russian Jews. These Israeli Jews have among them political, religious, and cultural backgrounds vastly different than most American Jews. And even among the Ashkenazi Jews in Israel is a very large population that has no share in any Western education. To a much higher degree, the personal family histories of Israelis are stories of immediate survival and not stories of cultural and economic establishment. The value system of Israeli Jews is different than the value system of American Jews. They live in a completely different country. Israel is not the 51st state. It's a country entirely different from the US. It's different. And I think this is okay. And it is okay that we do not agree with everything the Israeli government does. And it is okay if fewer American Jews will do anything in our power to support and ensure the survival of the Israeli state. Israel is not a Jewish project anymore. It is by all means an independent state. It has learned, and it is learning right now, to make its own decisions. And we need to let go. The impulse to control the government of a country, very few American Jews have spent a significant amount of time at, and very few hold citizenship and can therefore vote, is an impulse that is rooted, it seems to me, in a lot of very wrong and deeply patronizing assumptions implanted in American Jewish teachers, clergy, and leaders. It has been taught that the state of Israel, in one way or the other, belonged to the identity of American Jews, and that American Jews are responsible for its survival and well-being, when in reality, the state of Israel will need to defend itself and to take care of her own. That might be a really painful process. And I don't know that I can foresee the actual amount of sacrifices it would take in Israel's day-to-day life, should one day or tomorrow the amount of fiscal and political support by American Jews for the state of Israel significantly drop. And yet, you know what? First of all, Israel is a state in the Middle East, a state in which the vast majority of citizens have some sort of immigration story, a state in which not every citizen, and even less so every non-citizen, enjoys the same right and problems. A state with many problems, but you know what? Those are their problems, not the problems of American Jews. I sat down to write this essay, and I wrote it in a couple of hours. I had to take some breaks to review a Purim party and plan a family seder and go over someone's last giving papers. I had thought about writing this essay for weeks, never while pondering the question of how to find the right words and angles had the term of Shomrei Negi'ah come to me. And when I finally sat down, it suddenly was there as a headline. Shomrei Negi'ah is a term for the members of Orthodox communities who do not touch at all any members of the opposite sex other than their spouses and children. Their bodies are family. The bodies of others are other. And here's where I am finding myself these days. I want to say to my American Jewish community, hands off. Not your wife, not your body, not your country, not your choice. This body does not belong to you. You do not get to tell her how to hurt, grieve, defend, and fight for her children. You do not get to tell her how to talk, vote, dress, and pray. You do not get to tell her what kind of a woman she ought to be. You do not even need to love her. You may run away from her, but there is nothing to be gained in being angry at her for not doing what you think she should do. Let her go. She's a grown-up woman. She's responsible for her own actions. She gets to tell you what she needs to heal her wounds. Let her go. Maybe one day you might like to spend some time with her. Maybe you might like to be a loyal friend. Maybe you will choose to be supportive. Maybe you still want to be curious, visit her, learn a thing or two about and from her. Maybe you will be inspired by the things she does and is. Maybe you will invite her to come over in some time when she feels safe. Maybe she will come for a visit. Maybe there are things we can do together, very large and very small. But this is the moment when you have to let go. You can let go with anger and disappointment, or you can just let go. It's not your body. Hands off. Shabbat Shalom. Page 377. And if you feel like it, please rise. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shielded beneath 377. Shielded beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzu Yisrael vegohalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzu Yisrael vegohalo. Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu. Hagen aleha bevrat chasdecha, ufos aleha sukat shalomecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzu Yisrael vegohalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzu Yisrael vegohalo. Please be seated. Did I tell you to rise? I don't think I did. I did? Okay. Just impressed by what I saw. Okay. We are on page 371 for the Mishaber, for all those in need of healing in this community. And I know that Lynn wanted to mention specifically and for those of you who don't know her, Rebecca Stanfield is the head of the Montana Jewish Project in Helena. And she's just going through a lot. Dan, do you want to mention anyone? Do you want to mention someone who is sick? Good. We're going to say Kaddish afterwards. Yes. I promise. Any other?
מי שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה אמותינו, may the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. מי שברך אמותינו מקור הברכה Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of the spirit, and let us say Amen.
I've been talking about the Mishbeach with the Bar Mitzvah kid this week because it's one of his favorite prayers because like so many others, he likes the music. And we looked at the words really closely because he's going to talk about it on May 4th. And you know what he noticed is that in the first verse, we ask God to make us courageous. And this is not what you would expect in a prayer for healing, because why do you need to be brave to heal? And what he discovered is the first verse doesn't ask God to heal you. It asks God to make you brave so that you can heal others. And then only the second one says, please just send healing to me. So many of the readings we read today emphasize the aspect of work. We must work to make the world better, to bring peace, and to heal each other. Page 598, Dan, that is the moment of the Kaddish. If you are observing a yard site at this time of the year, do you want to share a name? If you're observing, Billy?
Barbara Schneider, Douglas Schneider.
My father and grandparents.
598. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חיותי וימליך מלכותי, בחי יכון וביום יכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יש למה רבה מן שמיא, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. And just stay standing for a little longer. Just ask yourself, where are you at? Maybe I have completely thrown you over. Maybe you have found some peace. Just let it be. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha Yaher Adonai panav elecha vichuneka Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and protect you. May God's light shine upon you and guide you on every step of your journey. May you find on your journey at each station light, community, and peace. Page 627. You don't need this page.
Od yavo shalom aleinu.
Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kolam.
Od yavo shalom aleinu.
Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kolam. Shabbat shalom. Kiddush and challah and candy in the social hall.